Hey guys, Bart with Bicycle Rider YouTube, and we are in the retool studio of Biloxi Bicycle Works, and I am in here getting ready to do a little video of how we train, and how we train sometimes is at 8:15 in the evening. We are here in Biloxi, Mississippi, and it's a cool little town to ride bikes in. And of course, I spent all day working in the bicycle shop. So I got to deal with a lot of people out there riding bikes, stopping by, a lot of good energy. It was totally stellar. But I myself did not get to go ride my bike. So just working in a bicycle shop does not make you fast. It does not help you win races. What does is fitness. And for me to get fitness, I decide to ride my bike to work quite a bit. This is generally not my daily commuter here, but this is Specialized Verge that I've been doing some gravel racing on. So sometimes you have to train on the bike that you race. I ride a commuter bike a lot just so I don't have to put a whole lot of miles on my gravel race bike, just day-to-day commuter stuff. So tonight I am going to get on my Specialized Verge. It's pretty late at night, and a lot of times during the day I'll throw it out there on Facebook, on the Biloxi Bicycle Works Facebook, and see if people want to do some urban gravel or an urban assault. And I normally get quite a few people that are interested in that, depending on the pace I pick. If I pick fast, sometimes it's going to be a certain group that comes. If I pick moderate, different group, and then sometimes exploratory, there's a whole different group, and all groups are fun. But tonight, I worked a little bit late, so I'm going to do a fast ride, and it's too late, 8 o'clock at night, just really throw it out there on Facebook and see if anybody will hit. You see I'm kind of dressed up warm, and that's because it's pretty cold here in Biloxi, maybe not compared to a lot of the northern states, but we are on the Gulf of Mexico, and tonight I think is going to be, in the mid-40s, so we're not talking freezing, but pretty close to it with the humidity we have. So I am, kind of dressed up in some warm gear, and you see I'm wearing some pretty bright clothes, and that's just to help me be seen. I am going to wear my helmet with my a light on the top, and I really like a light when I'm doing nighttime rides. One, so I can kind of see around corners, see obstacles, spot things with the light, and I have a handlebar light as well. So, my handlebar light throws about 1,000 lumens out onto the road, and I normally point that down so I don't get it in, oncoming traffic's eyes, because these lights are so bright they will blind you. And, on the helmet light, it is nice to get someone's attention if you need it. I definitely try not to, point this in, people driving in their eyes, because, when I'm driving my vehicle, I don't want someone with a high-powered light shining me directly in the eye. But it is nice to be able to, get someone's attention real quick with movement, quick flash, and people see you when you, this is 700 lumens I have on my headlight. So, it's pretty bright, but, generally I try to, spot this down. If a dog comes out and chases you, and dogs get pretty spunky at night, you can shine this right into a dog's eyes, and normally they'll stop in their tracks and wonder what the heck they just were about ready to chase. So, night gravel's a blast. And I say night gravel, but, nighttime urban. You do have to be careful out there on live roads. People driving aren't always paying attention, but I do think, in my opinion, at night you're almost seen better by the vehicles if you have, correct lighting. I have an LED light on the back of my helmet. I'm using a specialized stick light on the back of my bike, and I have like I said, 1,000 lumens on my handlebars. You can see I'm also running a Garmin, and I have a Garmin camera that I'm going to start trying to use so I can record, some of what we do out there riding around. And I think you guys know I do a lot of road riding. So road riding in a pace line is fun. I like it. I like when the group is really surging and having a good time. But there's something about riding urban that kind of is a camaraderie factor, and that is when you're riding urban and you come up to an intersection or something. There's a lot of unknowns, so sometimes those intersections help actually bring a group back together. Sometimes it helps split a group apart too. So a lot of times if you see a yellow light or something and you've got a lot of people behind you, I usually try to make that stop and wait for everybody to catch up again. And that just when the green light goes, that means the race is on again and everybody's back on an even keel, which is kind of cool, because sometimes you don't want to just drop everybody and kind of wonder where they're at. It's nice to have that camaraderie of riding together, maybe laughing a little bit together, and then go ahead and doing some surges. So it's kind of like intervals, like you're doing intervals, but you're doing it as almost an unplanned sections, unplanned pace. There's sections of open road here in Biloxi in between the casinos and some of these back roads where you can just really get down, get dirty, get into an aero position, and see how fast you can get going on those straight roads. And then there's that fun aspect of being able to get off the road, jump a curb, going through the marina, going through a parking lot. If a car is coming on the right-hand side, it's nice to be able to go left, and vice versa. So something about this gravel riding, you do get a lot of fitness out of it. It's interesting. It can be fast-paced, but then you also have the camaraderie of being together as a group and meeting back up. Where sometimes on the open road, once you drop someone, you might be on your own for the next 20 miles. It's nice in an urban situation when you can meet back up again. So, one thing about urban, I did mention road riding, and a gravel bike, I think, is an instrumental part of riding urban. Of course, you can do it on a road bike, you can do it on a commuter bike, you can do it on a mountain bike. You don't have to have any specific bike, but I think the perfect weapon for urban gravel or even urban assault is the drop bar gravel bike. And a lot of people, they say, well, a gravel bike, isn't that made for gravel? Well, yeah, you can ride gravel on a gravel bike. It's perfectly suited for it. But I think it's great in town. There's a lot of roads here, like Ocean Springs, Biloxi, where I live, that are, unimproved. There's a lot of cracks in the sidewalk a lot of times, and we do have a multi-purpose path here instead of, cycling built purpose, bicycle paths. So, we have to ride on the beach boardwalk quite a bit. Stuff like that is just not as fun on 28 millimeter tires. Definitely not on 23 millimeter tires. But when you can go up to, and I have, I'm running some Pathfinder Pros here. So my Pathfinder Pros are 38s. Actually 37s, but I measured them with a caliper on these rims and I measured 38. But on the sidewall it says 700 by 37. So 37 millimeter tires. I'm running them tubeless and I can run about 40 psi. And that kind of mitigates a lot of the vibrations that we get in the urban situations, all the little cracks in the sidewalk, all the imperfections in the road. Some roads are very smooth and some are chip seal. Some are, in Biloxi, a lot of them are torn up because they're doing, construction projects. And so it is nice on a gravel bike when you have the extra bite of a tire, and also the extra air volume of a bigger tire. It just makes riding, urban so much more fun, so much more relaxing. We have one big bridge that spans these. Kind of spans Biloxi to Ocean Springs, and both these towns are fun to ride in, but I like linking these two towns together, and there's a lot of good loops. And on that bridge they have something called an expansion joint, and those expansion joints are pretty rough. Going up the bridge and down the bridge, you can get some pretty good speed. I know going down the bridge, if it's a clear path and there's not a lot of walkers and a lot of joggers in the way, and you can open it up, it's not hard to hit 30 miles an hour. But with 30 miles an hour, with 40 pounds of pressure and a fatter tire, it's comfortable. You try to do that at 80, 90, 100 psi in a road bike tire, and you really take a lot of jostling to your neck, to your shoulders, to your back. I'm sure it's not that great for your bike. Luckily nowadays, modern bikes are pretty tough. But I have to say that the gravel bike eats that stuff up like butter. So anyway, I'm going to put on my helmet and go get about an hour of riding. Where if I were to drive my vehicle or something and get home at 9 o'clock at night, I don't want to get on an indoor trainer. But I'm getting ready to go for go have a little fun out there on my bike tonight. If you guys are in anybody's passing through Biloxi and they do want to do a little urban gravel or urban assault ride, something like that, hit me up at Biloxi Bicycle Works, and maybe we can get a little ride together. We do have several rides that are planned out, during the week. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays. I'll do kind of a heavy one on Saturday mornings a lot of times. So if you're in Biloxi, hit me up and maybe we can get some riding in together. Bring a gravel bike. It's definitely suited for it. But if you do have a mountain bike or a road bike or a commuter bike, just hit me up anyway. I usually have a bike like that on store, or you could try to keep up with me on my gravel bike. So anyway, Bart from the Bicycle Rider YouTube channel. I'm getting ready to go ride my bike after about a 13-hour day in the bicycle shop, and I'm totally stoked about it. And thank you, Biloxi Bicycle Works, for letting me use your retool room to do this short video. I'll catch you guys soon. Thank you. Bicycle Rider over and out.